Hello, everyone. This is Kim. I hope that you all are doing well. If you don't know me and you're here for the first time, I am a 15-year breast cancer fighter. I was diagnosed with breast cancer almost 15 years ago, and I got hit with recurrence in July of last year. So, this video, I just wanted to talk about the timeline of events and also the symptoms, at least for me, now that I think back, that my body was warning me, like, hey, something is going on even though I didn't think it was cancer. But I just wanted to take you through the timeline of events that led up to my breast cancer recurrence diagnosis. Again, things that I now understand that my body was saying, and also dealing with dismissive doctors. So I will be looking down at my notes because I made detailed notes for this video, because when you go through things that are so chaotic and just so overwhelming, you tend to forget things. So again, my apologies, but again, I'll be looking at my notes. So again, I was not thinking of anything relating to getting breast cancer again after my initial diagnosis many years ago. So it was a shock for me. So again, April 1st, 2010 was my first diagnosis. I completed 10 years of tamoxifen up until the end of 2020, the beginning of 2021. So late 2021, again, keep in mind, I had been on tamoxifen for 10 years up until the beginning of 21. But late in 2021, I started to get, again, for me, symptoms that I now look back on. So I've always been an acne prone girl, but late 2021, I started to get the worst hormonal acne. I mean, when I say it was the worst, it kicked up a notch from what I had all of the prior years. So late September 2021, my acne, the hormonal acne, got really bad. I was put on meds, which was an oral med, doxycycline, and also tretinoin, which is like a retin-A, a cream. So at that time, I was dealing with a very stressful times due to me selling a house and trying to buy a house. So my thought was maybe the stressful or the acne, I'm sorry, was from all of the stress. So the meds seemed to work over time, but after a few months, I think I developed an immunity to doxycycline and it just stopped working. So that was September 2021. So a year later, I want to say, again, it was getting better with the doxycycline and the retin-A, the tretinoin, but it stopped working. So August 2022, the acne got even worse. So around October, November 2022, I went to a different dermatologist because I felt like, maybe this dermatologist was just not understanding what was going on. So I went to a different one and she put me on an oral med, which is spironolactone. It's kind of hard to say. And now that I, have been doing research and I heard from a different dermatologist, this is something that I'm told isn't usually prescribed for people with a history of breast cancer. So I'm still looking into that. So if that's the case, that's not cool, but I'll do some more research. So spirulolactone is used to treat high blood pressure, but it's also used to treat some other things and also acne in women. So that is why she put me on that. So again, this was October, November 2022. So it seemed like that started to work, but December to January 2023, I wasn't tolerating that med. I started to get the worst hives on my arms, on my back, on my face. It was just getting really bad. I wanted it to work so bad, so I, stayed on it a little bit just to see if it was going to work. It seemed as though it was working, but again, I just couldn't tolerate the hives. So I stopped the meds right after that and took natural supplements that I researched for acne, which was DIM, and saw palmetto. So that was around, I want to say, February of 2023 when I stopped it. So side note, in addition to the acne, I had gotten a really horrible cold and a cough also starting early December 2022 into late 2023. It was the worst cold ever that my body had ever experienced, again, for over 2 months, which was odd for me. I know it can happen, but it was just something odd for my body. So going back to February 2023, that is when I noticed the lump. This was in early February 2023. I had a regular appointment with my gynecologist coming up anyway earlier that month. So I thought I would mention to her my acne, also the lump, again, because I trusted her. She was one that I told about the lump 14 years ago. So again, I just trusted her and I knew that she would take care of me and send me to the right place. So from there, early February 2023, due to my issues with the acne, she ran lipids for me due to my frustrations with the hormonal acne. And I appreciated her for that because the other dermatologists, none of them ever ran lipids to see what type of acne it was, if it was hormonal, if it was bacteria. But she said, hey, we're going to get to the bottom of this. So when after the results came back, she found out that I was severely deficient in vitamin D and also zinc. So from there, I was on a high dose of vitamin D and zinc, which seemed to start clearing up my acne. So again, this was in February when I went to her. Also, early February of 2023, I started to have chest pains. So while I was waiting to get in for the ultrasound for the lump, my gynecologist sent me over to a breast surgeon. But before that, while I was waiting for an appointment, I went to my primary doctor to talk about my chest pains. But keep in mind, I also had a lump. So all of this was in parallel. So I went to the primary doctor for chest pains February 17th of 2023. She ordered an x-ray. The results came back as normal. So when I asked her, I said, hey, but I'm waiting to get in, to see the breast surgeon, but did a lump show up on the x-ray? She said, nope. The radiologist said there was nothing suspicious. She's aware of my history with breast cancer, but they didn't see a lump, no suspicion. I also talked to her because during that time I started to have really severe hot flashes, which was, again, I know I was, let me see, I'm 49. I know I was 48, but again, they just started to come on. So keep in mind, I have a lump, I have severe hot flashes. What is going on? So what she told me, she said, nope, the hot flashes, I'm sure is just because of your age. It probably has nothing to do with the lump, but the breast surgeon will check on the lump. So again, she was just kind of brushing me off. Okay, perfectly fine. So this was all early February. Then I got the results back from that chest x-ray. They didn't see any suspicion. Moving on. February of 2023, a couple weeks after I saw her, so February 24th, I saw the breast surgeon, had the ultrasound appointment. It came back as a benign cyst. The lump came back as a benign cyst. They said there was no signs of malignancy. This is what the report stated. And also, I got a letter in the mail February 27th that says no evidence of breast cancer. Okay, so everybody is saying you don't have breast cancer. That lump is nothing. It's benign. Don't worry about it. So April 20th, 2023, I don't know. I'm thinking my breast surgeon must have ordered this MRI because a couple months later, after February, when they said they saw no signs of malignancy, April 20th, I had an MRI with contrast. And once again, it was confirmed as a cyst, nothing suspicious. So there was no rush for surgery since there was only a cyst and he only wanted to move it because he didn't want it to get infected. But again, when I think about it, why was there no biopsy done? Again, I didn't think about this because I was trusting what they were saying. It was a cyst. Biopsy didn't even come to my mind. So this was April 2023. In May of 2023, I got two heavy menstrual cycles, which was so odd for me. My menstrual cycles are usually, I get them once a month and they're just normal. As I get older, they're starting to taper off sooner, maybe 3 or 4 days. But in the month of May, I remember getting a menstrual cycle earlier in that month. Maybe 10 days later, I got another menstrual cycle. When I say it was heavy, it was heavy. I was at an event and I had to go home because that's how much, and sorry, this is TMI, that's how much everything was gushing out. So again, I think my body was just saying, hey, I'm going through something and I just didn't know what to do. I figured it was just me getting older, starting maybe, the premenopause or whatever. So this was in May of 2023. So the surgery was scheduled July 17th. I had the surgery to remove what they said was the cyst. Again, no urgency. July 24th, 2023 is when I received a call from my doctor stating that the pathology report showed that the tumor was malignant. And it was once again HER2 positive, which is a hormone related cancer. Once again, so again, I have the HER2 positive breast cancer, the same as many, many, many years ago. So my issues with the lump started, or at least when I noticed it, in February of 2023. It didn't get removed until July. So I just feel like, even though I've been reporting this since earlier in 2023, They didn't remove the lump until July because they thought it was a benign. So for me, I think about, how much did it grow? How much did that benign cyst, which was really cancer, how much did it grow in those months while the doctors were just dismissing me, right? So the only thing I can say about it, even though, it took a while to get to the point of realizing that it was cancer, I'm so thankful that I'm still here to talk about it and share it with you. So I hope this helps. Again, I tried to run through the timeline of events and all of the symptoms for me that now, when I think about it, brought me to my cancer recurrence diagnosis. So again, I hope this helps. If you have any questions about it, I hope I didn't go too fast, but if you have any questions about it, let me know. Have a great day, everyone. I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hello, everyone. This is Kim. I hope that y'all are doing well. So this video will just